Hello everybody. If you want to read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Short story 355, The Weight of Expectations. Advanced. The crimson sun dipped below the horizon, painting the sky in hues of orange and purple. Amelia sat on the worn wooden bench, the rough texture a comforting contrast to the smooth, polished stone of the bridge. The river, a ribbon of silver, gurgled lazily beneath, mirroring the turmoil in her own thoughts. Graduation loomed, a menacing shadow on the horizon. Her parents, ever the epitome of ambition, had charted her course. A prestigious university, a lucrative career in finance, a life of comfort and stability. Amelia, however, felt a suffocating weight of expectation, a pressure to conform, to fulfil the carefully crafted narrative of her life. She longed for something more, something beyond the confines of their meticulously planned future, a yearning for adventure, for the unknown, for the freedom to forge her own path. She dreamt of faraway lands, of bustling markets and ancient temples, of immersing herself in different cultures, of discovering her own passions, unburdened by the weight of their expectations. But how could she possibly defy them? Their disappointment would be a crushing blow, a betrayal of their unwavering support, their sacrifices. The thought of facing their disapproval, of shattering their carefully constructed dreams for her, filled her with a profound sense of guilt and fear. One evening, while browsing through a dusty bookstore, a worn copy of Eat, Pray, Love caught her eye. The title, simple yet evocative, resonated deeply. Within its pages, she found a kindred spirit in Elizabeth Gilbert, a woman who had dared to break free from the shackles of convention, to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Inspired by Gilbert's courage, Amelia began to contemplate her own escape. She envisioned herself trading the stifling routine of her life for a life of travel and exploration. She would volunteer at a wildlife sanctuary in Costa Rica, learn to surf in Bali, and perhaps even teach English in a remote village in Nepal. The idea, initially a fleeting fantasy, began to take root. The more she nurtured it, the more vibrant and real it became. A flicker of rebellion, long dormant, ignited within her. She would not allow their expectations to dictate her destiny. She would carve her own path, however unconventional, however daunting. The decision was not without its challenges. Confronting her parents, explaining her unconventional plans, was a daunting prospect. Their initial reaction was, predictably, a mixture of disbelief, disappointment, and anger. They argued passionately, citing the importance of stability, of a secure future, of fulfilling her potential. But Amelia stood her ground, her voice unwavering. She explained her yearning for adventure, for personal growth, for the chance to discover her own passions. She spoke of the importance of following her heart, of embracing the unknown, of living a life that truly resonated with her soul. The conversation was long and arduous, filled with tears and heated arguments. But gradually, her parents began to see the passion in her eyes, the unwavering determination in her voice. They saw the glimmer of a woman finally emerging from the shadow of their expectations. It was not an easy compromise. They agreed to support her, albeit reluctantly, on the condition that she set a time limit for her travels. A year, they insisted. A year to explore, to discover, and then, they hoped, she would return, ready to embrace the life they had envisioned for her. Amelia, though hesitant, agreed. A year of freedom, a year to find herself, a year to prove to herself and to them that she could navigate the world on her own terms. And so, with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she embarked on her journey. She traded the familiar comforts of home for the unpredictable embrace of the unknown. The weight of expectations, though still present, felt lighter, more manageable. She was finally free to explore the world, to discover her own voice, to write her own story. Vocabulary notes: loomed, verb. Definition: to appear as large, often frightening or threatening shape or object. It suggests something is approaching and causing anxiety. Example: graduation loomed, a menacing shadow on the horizon. This means graduation was approaching and causing Amelia anxiety. Similar words: threaten, impend, hover, approach menacingly. Epitome, noun. Definition: a perfect example of something, the embodiment of a quality. Example: her parents, ever the epitome of ambition, had charted her course. This means her parents were perfect examples of ambitious people. Similar words: paragon, ideal, essence, quintessence. Suffocating, adjective. Definition: causing difficulty in breathing, feeling oppressed or restricted. Metaphorically, it means feeling trapped or stifled. Example: Amelia, however, felt a suffocating weight of expectation. This means she felt trapped and oppressed by the expectations placed on her. Similar words: stifling, oppressive, choking, constricting. Yearning, noun, verb. Definition: a strong feeling of longing or desire for something. Example: she longed for something more, something beyond the confines of their meticulously planned future, a yearning for adventure. This shows Amelia had a strong desire for adventure. Similar words: longing, craving, desire, hankering. Meticulously, adverb. Definition: in a way that shows great attention to detail, very carefully and precisely. Example: something beyond the confines of their meticulously planned future. This means their future was planned with great care and attention to detail. Similar words: carefully, precisely, thoroughly, painstakingly. Dormant, adjective. Definition: in a state of inactivity or rest, temporarily inactive. Example: a flicker of rebellion, long dormant, ignited within her. This means a feeling of rebellion that had been inactive for a long time suddenly became active. Similar words: inactive, latent, quiescent, sleeping. Daunting, adjective. Definition: seeming difficult to deal with, intimidating. Example: confronting her parents, explaining her unconventional plans, was a daunting prospect. This means confronting her parents was a difficult and intimidating task. Similar words: intimidating, formidable, challenging, discouraging. Trepidation, noun. Definition: a feeling of fear or agitation about something that may happen. Example: and so, with a mixture of excitement and trepidation, she embarked on her journey. This means she started her journey with both excitement and fear. Similar words: fear, apprehension, anxiety, dread. Story written by Google Gemini 2 AI. To read all the stories in full, please go to www.steveuk.blog. Thank you. Hello, this is Steve. If you enjoyed the story, please would you take the time to leave a meaningful comment and click on the like icon. If you want to know when the next story has been uploaded, please click on the notify bell icon to be notified. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tell your English learning friends so they can benefit too. Thank you.